For the past 30 days, I've been working 4 days a week, and here's how it went. But first, why am I doing this? There's been a lot of debate around the 4-day work week, especially right now, as more than 35 North American companies and 20 global companies have signed up with 4-day week global for a 6-month pilot of a 4-day work week. Also, lawmakers in California are now considering a 32-hour work week. But this isn't the first time that reduced work hours has gotten attention. One of the bigger trials was when a whole lot of companies in Iceland reduced work hours from 40 hours a week to 35 hours a week in 2015 to 2019, and a lot of other countries followed suit by reducing work hours or by switching to a 4-day work week.
For me, this concept seemed really interesting, and as a full-time creator, I actually get stressed out and burnt out a lot, so I was just curious if the 4-day work week could help with anything.
So after this experiment, I did come to a conclusion of how I want to keep working based on my results, so make sure you stay until the end of the video to hear the final conclusion. The logistics. When I was looking into how companies actually implemented the 4-day work week, there were 2 models. Cram the regular 40 hours a week into 4 days so people are working 10 hours a day. Or cut 1 day of work so that people are working 8 hours a day but only 4 days a week for a total of 32 hours. In this experiment, I'm trying out the second method, which is the 180-100 model, implemented by 4-day week global with the 35 North American companies. So for the last 30 days, I worked Monday to Thursday each week, and I rested on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I tracked the number of hours I worked, and my accomplishments, and my feelings, and my thoughts.
Side note, I do have to do about half an hour to 1 hour of social media on weekends, so that was added into my total time. I also had 3 important group calls that I have to do on 3 Saturdays of this month, so that was also added to the total time. There was also one Monday where I was so tired because I was hanging out with friends over the weekend, and so I decided to swap that Monday and the Friday. And now back to the video.
To sum it up, it was quite interesting. In the Iceland trial, the conclusion was that yes, people's well-being improved, their stress levels went down, and they worked with the same productivity or even more productivity. And a lot of trials around the world have found that too. So what about me? Productivity results.
I think my productivity increased at the beginning of the workday, but actually stayed the same near the end of the workday. So overall, a slight increase in productivity, but I felt a lot more tired at the end of the workday because I was trying to get a lot more done. Something that helped me be more productive, I think, is just the fact that I knew I wouldn't have the Friday to work, so I was actually motivated to try to get more done in 4 days. I usually get distracted a lot by my phone, so I actually turned the Wi-Fi off a lot of the times, and I just did not look at my phone and I didn't get notifications, and that really helped. So even though I am able to get more done in 1 day, I do feel like at the 6th, 7th, and 8th hour, I would be super tired. And my focus just went down, and that's why I think I stayed roughly at the same level of productivity. So overall, maybe I had a slight increase in productivity, but I'm not sure if it was worth it because I would be so tired at the end of the day. Side note, I keep wondering about how companies measure productivity and stress, because for me, I just found it really hard to measure it. Maybe in some industries it is easier to measure productivity, but for me, I just kind of went off of how I felt.
Stress level results. Overall, I was a little more stressed on weekdays because I was trying to get more things done in less time. But on Fridays and the weekends, I was in heaven, and it felt so amazing to have those 3 days off, so amazing and freeing. But on weekdays, I can't deny that I felt a little more stressed because there was more pressure to get things done.
So again, I have mixed feelings about this. I'm not sure if the stress from the 4 days and then having a stress-free 3 days is worth it. Or maybe would I rather have it more leveled out?
Creativity results. So in all of the articles that I read about countries and companies trialing the 4-day work week, none of them really mentioned creativity. It was mainly about productivity and stress. But because I work in the creative field, I thought it would be cool to see if working 4 days a week and resting 3 days would make me more creative. I read the book I Didn't Do the Thing Today recently and loved the section about creativity because in order to be creative, you actually need space sometimes. Even if we're not doing the thing we're meant to be doing, this doesn't mean we're not doing the important work of preparing to do the thing. In this, we can see the importance of getting away from the desk and into the world, whereas a productivity lens may mean that waiting in line at a supermarket looks like time spent inefficiently. A creativity lens can reveal the importance of cultivating patience, tolerance, and curiosity in all the in-between moments of our days.
One of the best things about this experiment was like on Fridays, I didn't have anything planned, so I would just do the things that I've always wanted to do, but I just like don't have time. Like slow reading and journaling more and just like being by myself and doing nothing and just like enjoying my life. And that actually I think was really worth cramming all of my work into 4 days. Right now I'm actually in a pivot in my business, so I think like the rest time was really, really helpful for me to kind of figure out like what exactly I wanted to do and like get new ideas. I really just had to let my brain have more space to process things, and so I could get more inspired and creative and get clear on my direction. So yes, I do think that by giving myself more space, I can get more inspired, which then makes me more creative.
How many days will I work from now on? This experiment was definitely a cool thing to try out, but for now, I can't say that I'm gonna continue working 4 days a week. I actually want to try out another experiment, working 5 days a week, but working 6 hours a day instead of 8 hours a day. So I'd still be working reduced hours, but I'm spreading it over 5 days.
I think it'll be cool because what I learned this month is that I can be more productive, but when it gets to the 6th or 7th or 8th hour, I'm less productive because I'm tired. And I think this way I can stop working at around 3 or 4 o'clock and then give myself more space to do the things that I want to do, like reading a book. So every single day of those 5 days, I would have more room to get inspired and be creative. I also think this would probably make me less stressed because I don't have to do 4 days a week and then like power through the 6th and 7th hour, but it's like just more spread out. And I have like a full 5 days to do all my work. But you never know, like maybe once I try this, I will actually prefer the 4-day work week. But then again, I think my ideal lifestyle is to just go with the flow. So maybe 4 days one week, 5 days another week. Or maybe even more reduced hours, but working 6 days a week. I don't know.
So it's going to take some experimentation for sure, but I'm really, really happy that companies around the world are starting to consider these different models of working and giving their employees like this kind of flexibility. Because I think in the end, what's most important for people is that they have flexibility and they have choices and they can themselves decide how they want to work. Because I think it really depends on the person. Like people have different working styles and they have different things going on in their life.
Let me know in the comments, what do you think of the 4-day work week? Is this something you want to do? And are there any other experiments you want me to try? Let me know.